Welcome back. Let's take you back live now to Senekal. Samkele, you are standing with EFF supporters. What's the latest there?
Desiree, it's just about less than 15 minutes left until they are addressed by their leader, Julius Malema, who's currently inside court. He had earlier on said that they must come back after 2 hours. That was at 10 o'clock to be addressed by him after the court proceedings. We did earlier on see a bit of a scuffle that had ensued between the white farmers and EFF members and supporters earlier on. But I'm just going to bring some of the EFF members who are here just to get some of their views on the earlier on scuffle that took place. Buti?
Yes.
Earlier on there was a scuffle that took place between EFF members and white farmers.
Yes.
What was actually going on there? Why did you deem it fit to go to where they were?
Botsotsi re beresanya kore ba re atamele ka gore ba re tella batho bale a re ba nyake le mogausi ya rena cause of ba re teletse ba ka se telle college ya rena ja state ba di wish today re mo ka sebele re be re nyaka bona rena state sa rena ba se teletse ka nnete na ba ka gona go pusha di college ya rena ka nnete na ba tle re bone re ba tlholeile re tla bona khotho e latelago ha ile re ba re ya batla re tla boa ha re lapeng.
What do you want your EFF leader Julius Malema to say to you when he addresses you? Ufuna athini umongameli wenu uJulius Malema mayese khuluma nani mayese fika lana ngo12?
Re tla kwa re bolela gore na khoto e sebitse bjang ditaba go ya le ka mogwelo ro ba sekisha motho ile ro kena ba ro bolaile motho le burile la bobona but ntwe re tseba go gore re a tseba re o tla re botsa gore ka tšatši la khoto re tla ba re nyakea ene re tla bua re ka se lape o buang.
Thank you very much. Well, Desiree, it's just a countdown to when these members of the EFF were gathered here. Some of them observing social distancing, some of them wearing PPEs and masks like we are, some of them not. To hear from what their leader Julius Malema has to say, particularly once he comes out of court. He was earlier on in court. When we went there with my colleague Kwazi, we saw him sitting alongside the Minister of State Security, Minister Dodo, the Minister of Police, Bheki Cele, and also the other EFF leadership was seated alongside him. The courtroom was packed. They were adhering to COVID-19 regulations, and other leaders were stopped outside. There are other political formations, such as the ANC, who are protesting here and who are picketing against what they deem as the crimes that are happening within the farming community in South Africa, not only facing those who are black workers, but also the farm owners as well.
Samkele, have we been able to determine what the interest of the Department of Security is in this story? As you've been mentioning quite a few times in your crossings, that the Minister Dodo is there.
Essentially, state security would come in here, Desiree, because if there were to be violence or to break out between the farmers and the black community, that threatens state security in the country. So that's when they come in. For instance, they may have gotten wind through their various intelligence people within the Free State that there is seemingly brewing tension between the farming community and the black community of the Free State. That's when state security comes in. It's through the intelligence work that they do, and the security cluster essentially being deployed here is not surprising, as you've seen in many other instances where sporadic violence has broken up in the country, where sporadic xenophobic attacks have broken up. The State Security Department dispatched their various agents across the country. The Minister of State Security would be all over the country as well, trying to gather intelligence, trying to quell tensions that may be brewing in the country. So essentially, state security is here because this issue of the farming community and the residents of the Free State, the black community, does pose some sort of a relative threat to the security of South Africa and state security as a whole.
So we are waiting two outcomes now. One, the outcomes of the court process, and to hear what Julius Malema will be saying to his members and supporters. How can you sum this up for us? What can we expect?
We can expect from this side where I'm at, of the political aspect from the EFF, a very fiery speech from the leader of the EFF, Julius Malema. It would be rather interesting on what he will let loose, particularly in some of the conversations he would have had in court and outside of court with the Minister of State Security and Dlodlo, with the Minister of Police Bheki Cele, and we expect him to be delivering a very fiery speech, and particularly with the weapons that have been confiscated with white farmers coming in, and also with that incident of the weapon for the provincial leader of the EFF in KwaZulu-Natal, Vusi Khoza, also being a bit of an issue. Well, he came in and didn't have the papers for that firearm. Despite having them at home, he was cleared, he was released with his firearm. So we're expecting a very fiery speech from the EFF leader, Julius Mahlamba, and our colleagues are on the other side of court, and they will be giving an update as well on what's happening on that aspect.
Thank you so much for bringing us up to date in terms of the story. Samkele Maseko there with our other colleagues, Tabiso Khatebe and Reginald Vetboy, bringing us all the developments in Senekal this morning. Of course, SABC News will continue to bring you all the latest from the Agenda team.